I'm RJ Gottlieb. I've been the driver of Big Red Camaro since 1987. Big Red is the fastest 69 Camaro in the world. With 2,000 horsepower, this beast is ready to dominate the road.
The Bonneville Salt Flats are a vast, perfectly flat plain of densely packed salt left over from prehistoric times, when massive lakes covered much of North America's Great Basin. The lakes dried out thousands of years ago, leaving a 10-mile-long solid slab of salt, a surface that motorsports enthusiasts found to be the perfect spot for what would become the world-famous Bonneville Speedway and land speed racing. For the past 100 years, Bonneville Speedway has hosted the world's fastest motor cars and cycles. It's the home of more world records for achievements in speed than any other place on Earth. Even the casual visitor will remark that such a massive collection of salt crystals creates a mystical aura. The racers that come here year after year call it salt fever.
We've been running these mile events, Mojave Mile, Texas Mile, and we started hitting some really big speeds, and it was pretty exciting. And, you know, if you want to go faster, you basically have to get into land speed racing. Through the years of racing, you know, I've always come across guys that had run out at Bonneville, and they were all crazy about it. And there was something about that. Once these guys got out and did some land speed racing, they came back and they just said, RJ, there's just nothing else like it. We're always looking for new challenges for Big Red, and Bonneville was the next place to go. It offered straightaways longer than anywhere else, but you know, it had its own list of challenges, and for us, that's the perfect type of thing. Give it a challenge, tell us we can't do it, and watch Big Red do it.
Team Big Red had already transformed the Camaro for land speed racing and made numerous trips to El Mirage Dry Lake to prepare for Bonneville. But as the saying goes, there's racing on the dirt, and then there's racing on the salt.
Going into Bonneville, I had tech inspectors come and look at the car just to see how many changes I had to make. One of the things we did add are roof rails, and we've kind of been asked to run roof rails at the mile races and just haven't really wanted to take that big step because it kind of takes away of the actual stock look of a 69 Camaro that we were trying to keep all these years. But they weren't going to let us run Bonneville or El Mirage, so we didn't do it. So it was time to make that big step, and it did take away a little bit of the look of the stock Camaro, but it was for a good cause, safety.
This is where high-speed racing was born, going back, you know, 100 years practically now. It'd be great to make Big Red a part of that history. It's a weird area. I mean, it reminds me a little bit of El Mirage and just the flatness. Salt looks like snow. I could see why Ab Jenkins came here to begin with, because it's just so huge. They got 5-mile runs, 7-mile runs. I mean, the size of it's on a whole nother scale. And obviously, if you're gonna do the really big speeds, that's what you need. And there's so few places really in the world compared to this where you can get those kind of distances to go flat out. Here we go, first time onto the bed. This is a lot smoother than the El Mirage. Wow. Something just to come out to this place, let alone be trying to do world record runs in a car. Coming out here gives you that wide open feeling like there's no restraints, you know. It's so rare you get somewhere where you can drive in any direction and hit nothing and go that way for miles. I can see how Ab and those guys coming out here would have wanted to open up their cars, open up their bikes, see what they can do. Yeah, you can see the racing surface here. This is actually where they run the cars. The salt's a lot thicker here, a lot harder. You can see how it's a lot better for racing. There's none of the crust. I can't even get my hand underneath it. This is where they come to make history. I think we'll be able to make history with Big Red here.
The Salt Flats are located in the northwestern corner of Utah, some 2 hours outside of Salt Lake City. The 600-mile trek to Bonneville is more like a pilgrimage as the iconic Camaro makes its way to the legendary land of salt and speed. Ironically, a part of the route traveled takes the team north on Highway 318, the very same road where Big Red first tasted fame in 1989 at the Silver State Classic Challenge. Back then, it was 19-year-old R.J. Gottlieb driving Big Red and averaging almost 200 miles per hour in the open highway road race. Every year in August, hundreds of cars and motorcycles gather on the Salt Flats of Bonneville for the annual Festival of Acceleration, known as Speed Week. The Southern California Timing Association and the Bonneville Nationals sanction the 7-day event. There are 4 separate straight-line racetracks. Top speeds are measured over a 5-mile stretch. There are hundreds of specific vehicle and motorcycle categories. 500 or more participants from all over the world compete in the speed trials, and spectators number in the thousands.
I think it looks even better on the salt. It was destined to be here. I promised you we'd be coming out, and here's the team. We got it.
So I've been out here for the last 10 or 15 years at Bonneville, and I got to tell you, what a great piece. Just an awesome transition. It truly belongs out here on the salt.
You know, I don't know about breaking the record. Currently, it's 246 miles per hour, and so far the fastest a car's ever gone is 232 at Mojave, but that's on pavement. We're here now, this is salt, and the lack of traction is just a whole new concept for us. There was a couple real slippies.
Oh, we saw you.
That really slowed me down.
Yeah.
Every time it seemed like I was able to get on the gas harder, it would snap side to side, and I'd have to get out of it and then lose speed, then get back on it again. And I was just fighting it the last couple miles, and I didn't really gain much. They're talking about changing the wheels, changing the tires, so we got a number of changes they're still talking about.
We've kind of taken the rest of today and all of tomorrow. We're going to do a gear change in the back, we modify the upper control arms, give us some more caster in the car, new wheels and tires that are narrower.
We wouldn't be going as fast as we are going now if the competitors here haven't been helping us. You don't get that everywhere when you go racing.
Coming out to Bonneville for the first time and running a car that really wasn't Bonneville oriented to begin with, and to run well over 200 miles an hour, that's a good feeling for all of us. But now that we got to a certain point, we're going to have to really use our talents and try to make this thing go a little bit faster, and hopefully we can.
Want more adrenaline-fueled action? Then hit the like, follow, and subscribe button. Well, come join us for heart-pounding thrills and high-speed excitement.